So, last class we started with the tax computation and we discussed the tax rates also. You need to mug up that one. The second part of the tax rates related to the tax calculations on capital gains could be continued along with the capital gains chapter, not now. We'll now move to the next chapter 1.4 tax computation for agricultural income. Agricultural income is always exempted, not taxable. Okay, agricultural income is exempted. But if we have agricultural income as well as non-agricultural income, both, what can we do? That aspects are going to be covered in this class. Okay, only the agricultural income is exempted, but I have the combination of both. How can we treat? So those things are covered in this lecture. Now, what are the things that are going to be studied? Agricultural income, non-agricultural income. So you have to understand what are called agricultural income, what are called non-agricultural income. If there may be some combined income, that combined income has agree as well as non-agree too. In case of processing and selling tea leaves, understand? Growing the tea leaves is agree. Processing and converting the tea leaves into tea powder is manufacturing activity. We cannot segregate that, right? We have the details collectively. The tea manufacturing company will say, so we made a profit of 10 lakhs. If I ask him, out of the 10 lakhs, how much is for agree, how much is for the non-agree, then there's a confusion. So for that clarification, we will be studying here, how can we apportion the income between business as well as agree. And we have the partial integration of agricultural income with non-agricultural income also for the tax computation. We have agricultural income, say 10 lakhs, non-agricultural income 20 lakhs. Non-agricultural income is taxable 20 lakhs. That agricultural income 10 lakhs not taxable. Okay, but if you consider the taxation only for this is different. But here we have slight the agricultural income also integrated with this for the tax calculations. That's going to be studied. In case up to 3 lakhs, if you have the new tax regime up to 3 lakhs not taxable. Beyond that 3 lakhs to 7 lakhs you pay 5% and 10% and all we have studied. But if he has the agricultural income, that limit is totally different. That limit is totally different. How can we calculate? That's what about 3 parts. These 3 parts are going to be covered in the tax computation for agricultural income. This especially tax computation for agricultural income and special economic zone from which we make the sales outside India. In those cases, very often we can expect 4 to 10 marks, anywhere between 4 to 10 marks in this chapter also. Small chapter where you can score good mark. Right. Now, agricultural income and understanding the classification non-agricultural income. What is called agricultural income? Section 2, class 1A, already we studied that. Section 2 is all about definitions of various sections, various terms. Okay, while discussing the section 2, I have chosen only a few of the important definitions. Rest of the some definitions may be covered now and then. You no need to touch up all the definitions given in section 2 of Income Tax Act, which is not required also for your study. So here section 2 class 1A defines agricultural income. Section 10 defines some of the income not being taxable, means exempted. So we have to study or cover up these 2 sections collectively here so that you will understand what is called agricultural income. Once you find out this is being the agricultural income, this agricultural income is not taxable. So you have to club these 2. Is that clear? Agricultural income completely exempted as per section 10 class 1. Section 10 class 1. Income. The income could be, agricultural income could be rent and revenue. From where? Any land or building situated in India. Okay, any land or building in India. So maybe agri farmland. This may be assumed to be the farmland. Okay, in the farmland there may be building for outhouse or maybe farm laborers may stay, and sometimes the building may be used to store the processed or grown up agricultural produce and all. Okay, then they can let out this entire agricultural property for agricultural purpose let out this building for agriculture purpose, then that rental income also considered as income, agricultural income. Or if you are doing plantation work and earning money, that is also agricultural income. That is also agricultural income. So land or building, but that should be situated in India. If I have the farmland outside India, will not be considered as exempted income. That will be always taxable. If I have the land outside India, by cultivating, I made a profit of 5 lakhs. Will it be taxable? Of course, taxable, not exempted. Only if the land is in India, then automatically exempted, else it will be taxable. Is that clear? So either you can do the agriculture farming business yourself, or you can let it out to third party to do the farming business. Acceptable. But if you are letting that farmland for any other commercial purpose, cinema shooting and all, right? You may see some shooting may happen in the farmland. For the rental purpose, given for the cinema shooting and all, any rent you receive will be called business income, not agricultural income. This should be given only for agriculture. Either you use yourself, or using the laborers you can use it, or you can let out and collect the rent. That let out is only for the agriculture purpose. C. Any rent or revenue derived from such a land or building, where these two are situated in India and that land is used for agricultural purpose. So all the points I have given as a bullet point here. In case of building, it should be immediate vicinity of the land. Immediate vicinity of the land. Either it should be within the land, farmland, or somewhere closer to the land. Okay, the land is in probably in Samayapuram, and house property in Trichy will not be considered. So immediate vicinity should be, okay, like dwelling house, store building, outbuilding in connection with the land will be considered as building. Other than those building will not be falling under this case. In case of land, any one of the following two conditions should be satisfied to consider this being agricultural income and not taxable. One is the land should be assessed to the land revenue, else the land should be rural land. Okay, land revenue. There should be, it should be in rural land, or it should be assessed for the land revenue purpose. There will be tax liability. Okay, rural means we'll study what is called rural later on. Okay, based on the population, we'll consider the area being the rural or non-rural. Okay, clear? We'll study those things in detail along with the capital gains chapter. Not here. You just now understand rural. Rural is different, urban is different. If the agriculture land is in the rural area, no problem. We'll accept as it is. If it is being the rural area, of course, there should be land revenue for that. Okay, then it will be considered as agricultural farmland. And what is called agricultural purpose? Purpose. So you need to use this for your agriculture purpose. You should be a cultivator. Whatever the activity taken by the cultivator should be performed there, and he can allow somebody else to cultivate and process everything. He does in his own, and for that purpose, we have given the license to use it, right? So for that purpose, they may give us some small consideration. That consideration could be in kind. In kind means material form, not in the form of cash. Rent in kind. Okay, so the laborers will process, harvest. Out of the harvested produce, 30 or 40% may be given to the landowner. Okay, so A gives his agricultural land to B, and now B takes care of cultivating all these things, and he harvests around 10 sacks of output. Out of this, 4 sacks are given to the owner as a rental for this. So it is not in the form of cash. Though it is not in the form of cash, it may be in the form of kind, yet it will be considered as agricultural purpose only. Any process ordinarily employed by the cultivator to render the produce fit to be taken to the market will also be considered as agricultural purpose only. You understand? For example, in case of probably paddy and all, even beans. So all the beans, they need to peel. They need to peel. In case of coconut, they have to peel the coconut. Okay, only the shell is required to be sold. And in case of chili, they have to pluck it out from the plants and make it dry and sell. Okay, unless you do this, it cannot be saleable in the market. In case of paddy, you have to remove the the burn and all, so that it can be saleable. Converting the paddy into rice is a milling operation, manufacturing activity. It is not agricultural purpose. Okay, so you are cultivating the potato and processing, cleaning, and making everything packed to sell in the primary market is agricultural produce. Slicing and converting it into the chips Potato chips, manufacturing process, not agriculture. You understand? So if you go to the primary market, whatever the nature of agriculture produce you purchase, for that there may be some process. It's not as it is available in the farmland. It may be processed further so that it will be suitable for selling in the market. That process will be considered as agricultural process only. Thereafter, if you are adding some extra value, like converting the potato into potato chips and paddy into rice, as well as wheat into wheat flour, and if you are doing that, that will not be agricultural produce. And sale of agricultural produce in the market, selling, okay, selling the potato, fruits, vegetables, and grains and pulses, cereals, whatever it may be, if you are selling, where? In the primary market. That is also agricultural produce. Not being in the primary market, if it is rooted through in a mall like, then it will not come under agricultural produce. Income derived from saplings and seedlings grown in nursery will also be deemed agricultural income. Okay, if you have any nursery garden, okay, nursery garden, so rose plants and some other flowers and crotons, some indoor plants and all. So if I am growing or preparing any saplings and doing all the activities will fall under deemed agricultural activity. Earlier we had confusion whether it's agri or non-agri. Okay, around 4 or 5 years ago, I asked the students to consider this may be agri or non-agri. What happens for the taxable income if you consider this being agri, if it is not considered as a non-agri? So I asked the students to write both the way. Now it is clearly defined. Sapling and seedling in nursery will be considered as agri only. Consider as agri, that's why it is called a deemed agri. Deemed. The term deemed means you can assume. May not be, but you can assume so. Right, but letting out the land for residential purpose or business or profession is not agricultural purpose or agricultural income. Is that clear? Hope now you'll be able to understand what are falling under agricultural income. Some activities seems to be agri-like, but these activities are considered as non-agricultural income. Non-agricultural income. What are they? Self-grown grass, trees, bamboos. Self-grown grass, trees, and bamboos. You have the farmland. You have not maintained. You have not cleaned. Weed remover. Nothing you have done. All the bamboos and grass grow spontaneously. You have not taken any efforts. Okay, grass. In village side, nearby some farm, there may be cattle. Okay, sheep and all, no? They want food for that, right? Okay, now what happens? So I have land with lots of grass. Here we have sheep. The shepherd wants to grass his sheep inside our land. Who has to pay the money? Who has to pay the money? Landowner or sheep owner? Landowner or sheep owner? Why? Landowner or sheep owner. So we are giving our grass to sheep. Who has to give the payment? This is A's land, this is B's sheep. Now sheep comes in the land and grazes the grass and all. Who has to pay? So of course A has to pay consideration to B, because allowing the sheep grazing in your land is indirectly fertilizing your land. The excretes are very costly there. 4,000, 5,000 rupees. Not human beings excrete. It's all about sheep excretes. Cow dung and all, no, it's very expensive. So if they allow to grass, and automatically excretes will be there and it will be a fertilizers for them. Next one. A simply cuts all the grass, severed the grass from the land and supplies it to sheep owner. Then A will get the consideration. A will get the consideration. You have to understand both the cases. But if I cut the grass and sells it to the shepherd. Okay, will it be agricultural income? No, because spontaneously grown on. I have not taken any responsibility to grow it. I didn't work for that. If everything grows spontaneously, okay, just like you get the BCom, once 3 years is over, spontaneously you'll get the degree. You don't do any more efforts for that. But in case of CA and CMA, of course, it's not spontaneously you'll get the degree. Will you get the certification spontaneously on completion of 3 years? No, it will be sweat and toiling to get it, right? So that same happens here. Self-grown trees and grass, bamboos. And selling those things after severing it from the land will not give us any agricultural income, right? That is considered as non-agricultural income. Fisheries, brick making. Okay, in farmland you have the red soil. You can use that red soil to convert into the bricks. Okay, but that bricks will not be considered as brick making is not considered as agricultural income. Dairy farm, poultry farming also not considered as agricultural income. You can say that I am growing cattle, sheep and cow and all. Will it fall under agricultural income? No, that will come under poultry. It's not exempted income. And butter factory operation, if you are involving any butter, already poultry itself non-agreements, butter is also non-agree only. And land used for storing agricultural produce means warehouse. You run a warehouse where agricultural produce are stored in your warehouse for a consideration. That will not be considered as agricultural produce. That will be considered as always business income. And this is a farmland and it is in the name of XYZ and Co. Company XYZ and Co. possesses an agricultural land and XYZ and Co. does all the agricultural operations here and harvests this. Okay. Mr. A being the manager of this company. Manager of this company. Now XYZ after operation gets the money, no, from their salary is payable and for the shareholders dividend is payable. Okay. This dividend and this salary will not be considered as agricultural income. XYZ and Co only does the agricultural operation. Any gain they are sharing to various contributors like manager, shareholder by way of salary and dividend will not be considered as agricultural income. So, agricultural farm for manager remuneration. Okay, manager remuneration is not considered as agricultural income. And you purchased a land. Okay, while purchasing, already it has lots of trees. Suddenly you sell one tree. Around 100 trees are there. You sell every tree for 10,000 rupees. Naturally, you get how much? Okay. So, around 10 lakhs. If you get the 10 lakhs, will it be agricultural? No. You are not the responsible person for growing the tree. Already grown, you are purchasing the land directly. So, if you go and purchase the land, actually land is sold only for the land purpose, not on the standing crops. Any standing crops are also there and I purchased along with the standing crops without my cultivation. That standing crops already exist. I severed from the land and later sold in the market. Any revenue I generate will not be agricultural revenue. Okay. Company engaged in agricultural business and they offer dividend, also not considered as agricultural income. Interest on arrears of rent of agricultural land. Any rent you have to recover from letting out of your agricultural land pending for a long period. So you charge interest for that. Rent is exempted, but for the delayed recovery, any interest you charge, that is not going to be exempted. Hope now you will be able to now understand what is called non-agricultural income. Clear? Now, very, very important one. Very often you can expect this particular concept as your exam question. Okay. Apportion of income between business and agricultural income. What happens in case of tea? Already I explained this one in the very first itself. Right. Tea. We are growing the tea leaves and harvesting the tea leaves. Later the tea leaves are converted into tea powder. Is that okay? So, if the the very fertile and top layer of tea leaves, if you take, that will be the first grade. Like second, third will be the second grade. Okay. So while growing the tea leaves, tea plants, and after plucking the pure tea leaves, some tea leaves may fall down on the floor. Hmm? You pick that along with the dust. That will be the super dust tea. So if you taste the flavor, means the first one or two leaves, no, the very uh, first layer of the tea leaves, no, it has no taste at all. That is called green tea. In a tea leaves, assume that. So lots of leaves are there and lots of leaves are there. And very fresh leaves will be there in the top. Only the first three leaves are cut and packed. That will be saleable as green tea. Okay. Selling, processing the green tea is not taxable. Fully exempted. Thereafter, second layer, it will be required some process to convert the tea into tea powder. And the last, these things along with the some dust. Okay. So do you want which tea? Do you want this one or this one or this one? Green tea. Once you drink the green tea, you cannot complete drinking the full cup. Even, have you seen the white tea? How many of you seen the white tea? Green tea, okay. White tea, have you seen white tea? Have you heard about white tea at least? Huh? So just now we heard, sir. White tea. Huh? See, sometimes the white tea and very pure green tea cost us around 10,000, 15,000 per kg. Per kg. Clear? See, we'll see white tea price. Okay. White tea price per kg. Okay, it's around under 10,000. This is 5,000 rupees. Kettle Gold Assam white tea. See, the 1 kg is 8,500. Indo Cha white tea 1 kg 8,500. And sometimes the range goes up to 35,000 also. This one, silver needle exotic white tea, cost us almost 30,000 rupees 1 kg. 1 kg. So we reject the tea. Okay. When I when I had a trip in Ooty, they took me to the tea estate. So after the tea estate, all the tea varieties will be there and you can consume. The first variety tea, white tea. Oh my God! For at least anyhow 30,000 rupees I cannot spend. They are giving it free. Then I just stood just closer to that particular counter, asked for the white tea. The cook saw me. You are from Tamil Nadu only, no? Yes. You don't like, sir. Whether I like it or not, no problem. Give me. I cannot spend 30,000 rupees for testing. I could test now itself. Then she gave me very small quantity. It may be 40 ml only. I just saw. Sir, you finish up. You can ask one more also. No issue, sir. Oh, it's that. The first moment I chipped, no. Then, that's all. My face is totally different. It's not even hot water like. She immediately recognized, saw me for a while. Don't worry, sir. Go and pour that in the dustbin and come for the different tea. What tea? Dust tea. Okay. I pour, when I go for pouring that in the dustbin, I saw lots of white tea poured there already. Directly then went for our own chaya, dust chaya. Okay. So that was very fantastic. That first layer, no, green tea. The first layer green tea is really very expensive also, but requires no process. No process. So that green tea is always considered as agri product. Green tea. Okay. Of course, once I purchased the green tea also, that was also very bad for me. The next moment I throw it in the dustbin. Thereafter, I was very cautious. Sir, do you want to purchase green tea? No, I am not for that. So, 1,500 or 1,600 rupees and 1,250 rupees for 200 grams of gold Assam green tea. This is the rate. This is the rate we have. Yeah. Anyhow, white tea is very expensive. Of course, we have the green tea also, but our requirement being some processed, add some extra flavor, stronger, so that will feel the tea taste at least. Right. So further processing manufacturing activities involving. That's why from the tea leaves, plucking and going up to the factory, a process. After that, here we will get tea powder. This process is called agree. This process is called manufacturing. But they don't know what is the cost at this point or what is the profit at this point, what is the profit at this point. He simply says, sir, I made 100 rupees profit by producing and selling the tea, sir. Planting the tea leaves, processing the tea and selling. Ultimately, after deducting all the expenses, I got 100 rupees as my profit. Oh, 100 rupees, okay. It involves a portion of agree, a portion of non-agree. We assume 60 rupees per 100 rupees is considered as agree. For that, you don't need to pay tax. Balance 40, you have to pay tax. Is that clear? Clear? Now see, in case of tea, 60% agree. In case of rubber, 65% is agree. In case of coffee, in coffee we have two varieties. Okay, curing and selling. Curing, roasting and grounding and selling. Okay, when you are plucking the coffee seeds from the tree, selling as it is called curing and selling. But no one likes it. Okay, then what happens? You have to roast it, remove the unwanted peels, and then you convert that into powder by grinding. Then you can sell. Here, roasting and grinding requires the machine. Curing requires no machine. If you are curing and selling, we assume 75% being agree. Curing, roasting and grinding, then 60% will be considered as agree. So the numbers are very simple. 60, 65, 75. I usually remember this way. Tea 60, coffee means rubber 65, coffee 75. In between coffee, we have 3 activities, then it is only 60. 3 activities: curing, roasting and grinding, all the 3. As this is being the agree, balance being non-agree, only this extent will be taxable as per the Income Tax Act. This will be totally exempted. Is that clear? C. 7A. Income from growing and manufacturing rubbers. Yeah, of course, from the rubber tree, you have to cut and take the rubber plant's milk that will be processed to convert into the rubber what we use for the tire and even bed, even erasers and all, right? So the rubber. The processing, the converting the milk into the rubber, okay, is the manufacturing activity. Collecting the milk. Have you seen that? How the rubber milk is collected? How many have you seen that? Huh? Seen or not? Yeah, some of you have seen. Go and see. Rubber from tree. So this is how small cut made on the tea trunk and the milk like substance is collected. Okay. Rubber latex. Rubber latex. This will be again processed further what? Whatever the purpose we use for the tire and all, we can use it. The collection of that latex liquid form, agree, thereafter converting into the solid rubber form is manufacturing activity. So in this case, 65% agree. In case of tea, 60% agree. In case of coffee, only in case of curing, 75% agree. Cured, roasted, grounded, then 60% agree, balance being the business income. Business income is taxable, agriculture income is not taxable. Is that clear? Not taxable means exempted. Apportionment should be done after claiming deduction under section PG, under the head PGBP, profits or gains from business operations. We'll study that along with that chapter, not now. whatever the deductions you can claim from this income can be claimable as per the provisions applicable under the income head PGBP. Okay, we'll see these 2 points along with the illustration later. Right. Let's see. Miss Vivita, a resident and ordinarily resident in India, has derived the following from the various operations relating to the plantations and estates owned by her. Income from sale of centrifuged latex processed from rubber plants grown in Darjeeling. So now you have to find out the agri as well as business income. Agri being 65%, business income being 35%. Taxable income being 1,05,000, 35% on 3 lakhs. 65% on 3 lakhs, 1,95,000 being the agriculture income. This agriculture income is not taxable. It's not taxable. Is that clear? Now, income from sale of coffee grown and cured in Yercaud, Tamil Nadu. Grown and cured only, not roasted and grounded. So, 75/25 will be applicable. 75,000 is not taxable. Only 25,000 is considered as business income. That will be taxable as per the applicable tax rate of income tax. Income from sale of coffee grown, cured, roasted and grounded. In that case, similar to the tea, 60/40. Okay, so 1,50,000 agricultural income, 1 lakh being business income. Is that clear? Hope now you'll be able to understand. Okay, and in Colombo, oh my God, so in Colombo, it should be only in Tamil, India. Sale consideration was received at Chennai. Okay, then this land is outside India, so fully your taxable income only. This rate will not be applicable, fully taxable. Okay, the line has gone to the next line, got confused. Income from sale of tea grown and manufactured in Shimla. In case of tea, 60/40 will be applicable. 60/40 will be applicable. 2,40,000 being agri, 1,60,000 being business income. And in case of income from sapling, seedling grown in nursery, already I told you properly, any gain on sapling and seedling grown in a nursery is deemed agricultural income, so nothing is taxable. Nothing is taxable. Now, agricultural income in this case being 5,90,000 and business income supposed to be taxable in this case being 5,40,000. 5,40,000. Is that clear? Come on, make note of it. Shall I move on to the next one? Yeah. Next question. Mrs. Vasudha is running a cotton ginning factory. The raw cotton is grown in the lands and owned by her. So from the tree, cotton is grown up in the factory. It will be converted into final product. Right. Raw cotton and finished goods. The ginned cotton. Okay. Ginned cotton, processed one. This operation is undergone in the factory. This ginned cotton sale value is 12 lakhs, sold for 12 lakhs. The following data are also available. Cost of cultivation 4 lakhs. And selling price of raw cotton when sent to the ginning factory. If the cotton is rather than transported to the ginning factory, if it is sold outside, it can be sellable for 6 lakhs. For example, assume A, B, customer. A is processing raw cotton, B processing ginned cotton. A processes or plants and harvests only the raw cotton. Then this is agreed activity. The raw cotton is converted into ginned, processed cotton. Maybe later on that processed cotton could be used for making the thread. It will be again used for weaving into the cloth and ready-made garments later on. Okay, the moment the raw cotton is ginned, then it's called manufacturing activity. Assume that cultivation cost is 4 lakhs and expenses in ginning factory. In ginning factory, to convert the raw cotton into ginned cotton, it cost us 3.4 lakhs. Apart from that, in the ginning factory, they are in need of raw materials, being the raw material, means ingredients, which is purchased from A. Though the cost of cultivating the raw material, means raw cotton, being 4 lakhs, could be saleable at the market rate, which is 6 lakhs. Is that clear? If two parties are there, party A, only a farmer who cultivates the raw cotton, B is the manufacturer, converts the raw cotton into ginned cotton. The agricultural farmer says that I can sell it for 6 lakhs, the cost for cultivation being 4 lakhs, then the difference between these two will be my gain. 2 lakhs is my profit. Who says? A. In case of B, he says I purchase the raw materials, which is the raw cotton, at the rate of 6 lakhs, not 4 lakhs. 4 lakhs is the cost for the cultivator. For me, I had to pay the selling price, which is 6 lakhs. Then later, the raw material is converted into ginned cotton in my factory. For that process, I spent 3.4. Ultimately, it cost us means 9.4 lakhs. But I sold this for 12 lakhs to the customer. Then naturally, the difference between these two, 2.4 lakhs, is my gain. A does only plantation activity, so this 2 lakhs is called agricultural income, and B does only the manufacturing activity, so this 2.4 lakhs will be considered as business income. This is agri and business. Instead of two party, the same party has the cultivating land as well as a ginning factory, both. What happens? Similar. Here the party, he himself being who? Owner of the agriculture, plantation land as well as factory. He has the plantation land, he has the ginning factory. And he does the operation here at a cost of rupees 4 lakhs, and then it is transferred here. Now he adds another 3.4 lakhs for processing further and sells it to outsider for rupees 12 lakhs. In absolute sense, the owner, probably Vasudha, Mrs. Vasudha, says that 12 lakhs is my revenue. My cost is 4 plus 3.4 lakhs. 7.4 lakhs is my cost. My ultimate revenue being 4.6 lakhs. Here 2.6 lakhs. This is 4.6 lakhs. That's how Vasudha says. As I am being the owner for agricultural as well as ginning factory, collectively I spent 4 lakhs there, here 3.4 lakhs, overall spending 7.4 lakhs, 12 lakhs is the sale price, my profit is 4.6 lakhs. But the income tax department says no, agriculture is a different part and manufacturing is a different part. Agricultural is exempted, manufacturing is exempted. So now it's my duty to segregate that. In case of tea, coffee, rubber, in rule it is clearly given. In which rule? Income tax rules. Already I told you, for understanding the income tax law, you have to understand the Income Tax Act, Finance Act, income tax rules. In income tax rules, number this one, 7A, 7B, 7C and 8 all explains to what proportion of your income will be considered for agri and non-agri. That's okay. You can go and refer. You now use that for calculation. But in this case, such a process is missing. Then how can we calculate or how can we segregate the 4.6 lakhs into agri and non-agri? Very simple. Here you see. Find out the market price for this raw cotton. Actually, Mrs. Vasudha being herself owner for the property, that farmland as well as genic, but she is not going to pay anything anyhow for the taxation purpose. That market value, fair market value is most important. That fair market value will be substituted here. By substituting, the difference between 4 and 6 is considered as agree income, and adding this is the overall cost and sold for 12 lakhs. The difference between these 2.6 lakhs is considered as business income. You segregate that to the two parties, like for the taxation purpose, for the agricultural purpose, Mrs. Vasudha agriculture. For the ginning purpose, Mrs. Vasudha ginning. Okay. Now you can find out the revenue based on the fair market value at the time of transferring the raw material to the ginning factory. Is that clear? Hope now you'll be able to understand. It's very simple. It carries 4 to 8 marks also sometimes. We'll move on to the last component. With that, taxation and agricultural income is completely over. Okay, very easiest chapters. Once again. Now, how can we tax? If we have agree as well as non-agree income, both business income. Agricultural income is exempted. Non-agricultural income means business income is taxable. Not in absolute sense. Not in the absolute sense. I'll directly go for solving the illustration, and then I will explain the steps here. Right. Now, Mr. SSA, a resident, has provided the following particulars of his income for the previous year 24-25. Okay. Compute his tax liability for the assessment year 25-26, assuming his age is 45 or 70. If you go for 115 BSc, default tax regime. Tax will be common irrespective of the age. In case of shifting out of the default tax regime, if the age is anywhere between 60 to 80, then 0 to 3 lakhs no tax, 3 to 5 5% will be there. In case of super senior citizen, beyond 80%, up to 5 lakhs nothing is taxable. In case of new tax regime under section 115 BSc, named as default tax regime. In this case, up to 3 lakhs no tax, and 3 lakhs to 7 lakhs 5% tax will be leviable. Beyond 7 lakhs up to 10 lakhs 10% will be leviable. Thereafter 10 to 12 15% will be leviable. That you know. So now I am going to use the default tax regime. So age is not a matter for me. In both the cases, the answer will be the same. Income from salary 4 lakhs 80 taxable. Income from house property 2 lakhs 50 taxable. Agricultural income from a land in Jaipur, this is agricultural income. Actually not taxable. Expenses incurred for earning agricultural income. If the income is not taxable, expenses related to that also not considered for the taxability. Okay, that is also be not considered here. Is that clear? Anyhow, for the exempted income, the net of this being 3 lakhs 10,000 is the agricultural income. This is usually exempted. These two are taxable. This one is exempted. Is that clear? If the income is exempted, tax on such income is also not considered. Clear? Already we have studied under section 14A. 14. Section 14 is all about heads of income. We have 5 heads of income. Easily you can remember that section 14. 1, 4. If I add up these two, 15. So 5. So this particular section 14 represents 5 heads of income. Okay. All the incomes are classifiable into 5. In which section it is available? Go and see section 14. Immediately after 14, 14A is there. That section says If income is exempted, any expenses related to such income is also be not considered. Right? Anyhow, here we have classified the income into two parts. One is taxable, another one is agri income. In the agri income, net after the expenses being 3,10,000. In the case of non-agricultural income, this is all about 7,30,000. 7,30,000. Is that clear? How can we tax, sir? When we have agree, non-agree both, how can we tax? How can we tax? First, you have to calculate tax on total income. Step number 1. Follow the steps. Tax on total income. Total income means agri income and business income both put together. Both put together. How much is that? 710 plus 310, 10 lakhs 40,000. For 10 lakhs 40,000 rupees, up to 0 to 5 lakhs, sorry, 0 to 3 lakhs, no tax. 3 lakhs to 7 lakhs, 5%, 20,000. 7 lakhs to up to 10 lakhs, 10%. 10 lakhs to 12 lakhs, but here we have only 10.4 lakhs. For that 15% tax rate. For 40,000, 15% tax rate, 6,000 will be applicable here. Then total value being 56,000. We found out the tax on total income, which is 56,000. Step number 1 is over. Okay. Now, second, tax on agri income plus basic exemption limit. Tax on agriculture income plus basic exemption limit. Don't ask me why, sir. In taxation, you cannot ask me why. In some other cases, you can ask. If you ask me why, definitely I don't know. Because this may be decided now and then when the government is in need of fund, they will tax more. If the government seems to be friendly to the people for voting and other things, there will be relaxation. So that's all. Okay. So the next year, huge discount is there. Okay. You may see. So today, this is the process you have to follow for the taxation. So agricultural income plus business income. Sorry, basic exemption. Agricultural income being 3,10,000. What is the basic exemption? Up to 3 lakhs, no tax. Up to 3 lakhs, no tax. So 6,10,000 rupees. For the 6,10,000, how can you find out the tax? 0 to 3 lakhs, nil. 3 lakhs to 7 lakhs. But here we have only 6.1 lakh for this 5%. What is the value you get? 15,500. 15,500. Now, 15,500. What is the tax payable? Tax payable. Tax payable is nothing but the difference between 1 minus 2. From 1, you have to subtract the 2. This extent exemption will be given. 15,500. If I subtract this, the value being 40,500. Then this is the final tax payable. Whenever final tax comes, automatically don't forget to add health and education cess at the rate of 4%. 4% on this being 1,620. Then automatically 42,120 will be the net tax liability. Net tax liability. 42,120. Now get back to the steps. Steps for computation of tax. Where agricultural income exists with the non-agricultural income. We have both the income. Then how can we calculate the taxation? First, this one is applicable for individual, half AOP, BOI and AJP. Step number 1, tax on total income. Total income means non-agricultural plus agricultural income. Next one is tax on agricultural income plus basic exemption. Step number 1, you have to find out the tax on total income, agri, non-agri put together. Second step, calculate the tax on the agri plus basic exemption limit. Okay. And now subtract the second from the first one. So automatically you will get the tax payable by the SSC. Okay. Then with that you can add the surcharge and any rebate applicable, you can adjust there if applicable. Only if it is applicable. Then add health and education cess at the rate of 4%. So we have done this. Is that okay? This is the steps we follow. Note, If net agricultural income is less than or equal to 5,000 per annum, and if the non-agricultural income is also less than or equal to basic exemption limit, non-agricultural income is less than or equal to basic exemption, means 3 lakhs. Either net agricultural income is less than 5,000, or I can change that, rather than and it may be or. If non-agricultural income is less than basic exemption limit, less than 3 lakhs, you have 1 crore income, where 98 lakhs from agri, 2 lakhs from business. Then this process will not be working, completely exempted. So the non-agricultural income is beyond 3 lakhs, as well as agricultural income is beyond 5,000. Then this process will be followed. Otherwise, fully exempted. Otherwise, fully exempted. If the agricultural income is less than or equal to 5,000, no need to club. You just go and pay the tax only for the business income. If the business income less than 3,000, forget about calculating everything. Completely exempted. Right. Clear? This is the step we have completed under default tax regime. 3 steps. Step number 1, agree non-business. You club both and calculate tax on that. Next one is agree and basic exemption, add and calculate tax. Now subtract the second point from the first point. That's the ultimate tax payable. With that, such as if it is applicable, add, and health and education should be also addable. Now, what happens if 115 BSc apt out? 115 BSc apt out, not being default tax region, not being default tax region. Clear? You know that this value being 7 lakhs 30, this value being 3 lakhs 10,000, total being 10 lakhs 40,000. If the age being 45 years, first one, tax on total income being agree non-agree put together 10.4 lakhs up to 0.0 to 2.5 nil rate, 2.5 to 5 lakhs, 5%, beyond 5 lakhs up to 10 lakhs, 20%, beyond 10 lakhs to 10.4 lakhs, 30%, 12,000. What's the final value? 1 lakh 24,500. So 1 lakh 24,500. Step number 2, tax on agree income plus basic exemption limit. Agree income being 3.1, as the age being 45 years, the basic exemption limit is only 2.5 lakhs. 5.6 lakhs. In that 5.6 lakhs, up to 0 to 2.5 lakhs, nil, 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs, 5%, 12,500, 5 lakhs and above up to 5.6 lakhs, 20% will be applicable, which is 12,000. Total value being 24,500. So 24,500. If I subtract this value from the earlier value, the tax payable being 1 lakh, and add health and education cess at the rate of 4%. 4,000. 1 lakh 4,000. What happens in case of 70 years? In case of 70 years, 10.4 lakhs. From 0 to 2.5 lakhs, nothing is taxable. 2.5, sorry, 3 lakhs. Okay. Up to 3 lakhs, nothing is taxable. From 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs, 5%. Otherwise, comparing this one, on 2500 may be lesser. 2500 may be lesser. Okay. 5% being 10,000. From 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, 20% rate will be applicable, which is 1 lakh. Beyond that, up to 10.4 lakhs, 30% will be applicable, which is 12,000. You see that the value being 1,24,000, 22,500. Okay, you understand? Senior citizen other than general people, the 22,000. The difference should be 2,500. Super senior citizen, the difference is 12,500. So here the value being 1,22,000. And what about the next case? In the next case, I'll work out here. 310 plus basic exemption limit is 3 lakhs. 6.1 lakh. Up to 0 to 3 lakhs nil. 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs 5%, 10,000. 5 lakhs to 6.1 lakh 20%, 22,000. Am I right? Isn't it? Total value being 32,000. 32,000 can be subtracted from here. Then ultimate taxable value being 90. Add the health and education cess at the rate of 4%, which is 3,600. Finally, 93,600 is the final value. Clear? So that's all. With this, tax computation for agricultural income is over. One of the easiest content. Only 3 components. Understanding agree, non-agree income. Second is all about segregation, appropriations of the agree income, non-agree income, where tea, coffee, rubber is also there. In case of tea, 60. In case of rubber, 65. In case of coffee, 75. Where in case of coffee, cured, roasted and grounded, then it is again equivalent to tea, like 60. First part. Second part, we are not sure. It's a combined together. I do the farming business as well as the manufacturing activity. The raw material I produced from the farming is used for the manufacturing activity. Then how can we segregate? The fair market value of the raw material, that process means harvested item, will be considered for the calculation or segregation of the agri and non-agri income. Now we have calculated agri income as well as non-agri income. The third aspect is all about and taxation. Tax on the total income, then tax on the agri plus exemption limit. So the second part is subtracted from the first part to finalize the taxation. And with that, you can add the health and education. So that's all. Only 3 steps. Very often I expect the illustration from this topic very often. So you don't miss this topic. So the next class will be on residential status. Very, very important chapter. Okay. See you in the next class then.